WEFM News online on demand.
Good afternoon and welcome to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Courts in Vincent Limited.
There's a flash sale at Courts for a limited time. Friday the 27th to Tuesday 31st May. Shop in store and save on a wide range of smart TVs in a variety of sizes. And with ready finance, you pay nothing for 60 days. It's a flash sale on smart TVs only at Courts. Offers valid while stocks last. Shop today because these deals will be gone in a flash. Courts, bringing value home.
Welcome back to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Courts in Vincent Limited. I'm your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, Prime Minister Dr. Rajiv Providence has insisted unless Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua are invited to the Summit of the Americas, St. Vincent and the Grenadines' presence is still uncertain. In an interview with the Agency for Public Information, Dr. Gonzalez noted that St. Vincent and the Grenadines certainly would not be represented by the Prime Minister unless those countries are invited. We hear more from the Prime Minister.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines certainly will not be represented by the Prime Minister unless these countries are invited, Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua. And whether we should be represented at any lower level is still up in the air. As presently advised, I don't see how we should go, but I'll have further discussion with my cabinet colleagues and also my colleague heads. I find it just a terrible idea to exclude people. We should be having conversations.
That was the Prime Minister, Dr. Rajiv Providence. The Prime Minister said that the President of the United States government, does not have the right to exclude anyone. That is to be done in the whole of the Americas. He alone can't make that decision. The Summit of the Americas takes place in the United States from June 6th to 10th, 2022. June 1st, 2022 will mark the 161st anniversary of the arrival of 2,474 Indians from India to SVG during the years 1861 to 1880. Each year, the SVG Indian Heritage Foundation, SVG-IHF, commemorates Indian Arrival Day by a reenactment of Indians, their families and friends, dressed in Indian wear arriving on a boat at Indian Bay. This will be followed by Breakfast for All, a rally at Raraku, with addresses from dignitaries and cultural performances featuring overseas artists from Suriname, Trinidad and Tobago, and India, and local artists. The program for June 1st is as follows. A reenactment of the arrival of Indians on Wednesday, June 1st at 7 a.m. A boat will leave a location and arrive at Indian Bay, where there will be registration of the newly arrived Indians dressed in Indian wear. An official ceremony, photo shoot, and breakfast will be served to all in attendance. Due to COVID-19, no celebrations were held in 2020 and 2021. In 2020, the SVG-IHF began a series of interviews with its Indian elders. 8 interviews were successfully held, and the fascinating stories were recorded and shared in the media, on Facebook, and are chronicled in Lenroy Thomas's first of its kind informative, highly researched, and timely book, Stories from Our Indian Elders. Still on the local scene, St. Vincent and the Grenadines has recorded its 107th COVID-19 death. The deceased was a 70-year-old unvaccinated male with underlying conditions who tested positive for COVID-19 on May 26, 2022, and died that day upon arrival at the Chateaubriand Smart Hospital. He died of COVID-19 pneumonia. According to the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment's COVID-19 update for Monday, May 30th, 2022, 21 new COVID-19 cases as well as 9 new COVID-19 recoveries were confirmed, bringing the number of active cases in country to 107. The number of patients admitted for COVID-19 care in SVG has declined to 4. Of those patients, 3 are unvaccinated and 1 is fully vaccinated. 30,654 people in country have received 2 doses of a COVID-19 vaccine, while 3,777 COVID-19 booster shots have been administered. Since March of 2020, there have been 8,717 PCR and rapid antigen COVID-19 cases reported in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. On to news in the region. Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Philip J. Pierre, has lauded Sandals Resorts for its recent expansion plans for the island, saying that it sends a strong message of confidence to the global market following the recent challenges brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. Sandals Executive Chairman Adam Stewart recently revealed that the resort company will be adding 25 stunning new rooms at Sandals Halicon Beach, comprising 20 beachfront, two-story villa rooms, featuring large balconies and 5 rendezvous suites, the signature Sandals categories featuring soaring conical ceilings, expansive bathrooms, and private water features. An even more ambitious expansion will be underway at Sandals Regency La Toc, which will see the introduction of a new Sandals Resorts innovation, a village comprised entirely of 20 rendezvous suites, with 7 of them offering open-air rooftop decks. Later phases will include additional spa facilities, new suite categories, and a reimagination of the current golf course offerings. Guyana's Vice President Barack Jagdeo on Monday said that the Guyana government is yet to make a decision as to whether it will allow for the establishment of a national oil company (NOC), indicating that the Irfan Ali administration is prepared to give the matter careful consideration. Jagdeo told a news conference that while the government is in favor of a company with a passive form of ownership, concerns have been raised both by the government itself and other stakeholders regarding the establishment of a national oil company. No decision has been made. There are a lot of cons and few pros, Jagdeo told reporters, adding, "From serious sources, we are getting a list of concerns that are universally known regarding the establishment of a NOC." Jagdeo said among the concerns is the time it will take to develop the company, the overload it will place on domestic capabilities and capacity, and the corruption associated with national oil companies. On the international scene, Taiwan says it deployed fighter jets to warn off 30 warplanes sent by China into its air defense zone. The incident on Mondays marked the biggest incursion since January. It came days after US President Joe Biden warned China against invading Taiwan, and on the same day as a US official visited the island to discuss security with leaders. China has ratcheted up the frequency of its air missions in recent months, claiming they are training drills. Such moves have angered Taiwan and increased tensions in the region. China sees Taiwan as a breakaway province which it can take by force if necessary. The latest incident included 22 fighters as well as electronic warfare, early warning, and anti-submarine aircraft, Taiwan's defense ministry said. The aircraft flew in an area to the northeast of the Pratas Islands that is part of the Taiwan's air defense identification zone, according to a map the ministry provided. But the planes did not cross over into Taiwan's airspace itself, which would have been regarded as an act of hostility. And finally, in sports, Everton manager Frank Lampard has been fined £30,000 by the Football Association for his comments after a 2-0 defeat at Liverpool in April. Lampard was angered that Stuart Atwell did not award a penalty for a challenge on Anthony Gordon by Joel Matip. Post-match, he suggested a penalty would have been given if the challenge had been made on a Liverpool player. "It was a penalty, you don't get them at Anfield," Lampard said after the match. The Football Association said Lampard breached the FA Rule E3 in relation to media comments proven during a personal hearing. This has been WEFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 3 p.m. for WEFM's 3 p.m. News. WEFM's Midday News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Courts St. Vincent Limited.
There's a flash sale at Courts for a limited time. Friday the 27th to Tuesday 31st May. Shop in store and save on a wide range of smart TVs.